People who are struggling in the aftermath of infidelity are often haunted by this question. Am I crazy for trying to stay and save this? Or am I failing if I just walk away? What would help in this is knowing the accurate answer to the question, how often do couples actually successfully stay together after infidelity? And depending on who you ask, you could hear anything from almost nobody to as much as 75% of couples stay together. Both of these can be misleading, and I'm going to tell you why. There's one gold standard piece of research that gets close to answering this question as best as we're able, and it's Allen Atkins' study from 2012. It takes data from general social survey responses, asks people who have had extramarital affairs if they're currently divorced and remarried from that person, divorced and not remarried, or separated. And it found that extramarital affairs are associated with a 2.6 times greater likelihood of being divorced and remarried, a 4.1 times greater likelihood of being divorced and not remarried, and a 5.8 times greater likelihood of being separated. A reasonable inference from this is that more than half of people who experience infidelity eventually end up divorcing or separating. There's only one other source that I can find that attempts to answer this on behalf of the general population, but the limitations of this seem much more significant. This survey simply asked people who had had extramarital affairs, did their partner break up with them? And of those who said yes, did you end up getting back together with that person? That's it. It can't speak to the final outcome of those relationships. We don't know what got back together means. Did they just have some intimacy a couple more times? Did they stay together forever and rebuild and become happier? Did they move back in together for a couple of months until they finalized their divorce? We don't know. But if you just want to assume the best case scenario based on these numbers, it would imply that over 80% of people who experience infidelity stay together. This is in such sharp contrast to the Allen and Atkins study that it begs the question, which one is stronger, Allen and Atkins from 2012 or this YouGov Dumitru analysis from this survey? Every other source that's mentioned in support of the idea that 60 or even 75% of couples stay together after infidelity has other significant limitations. It excludes people who break up right away. It only counts people that are in treatment actively trying to repair already. A couple of sources are just unfindable and unverifiable. One of them that's been called a study actually just looks like a self-help book, and I'm assuming that those estimates are just private practice observations, not an actual academic or epidemiological study. A couple of actual peer-reviewed studies are interesting, but they involve such tiny samples of treatment-completing couples that it can't be generalized or extrapolated to the entire population. And most of them have not done long-term follow-ups with these same couples, so there's really no way to know what the final outcome of the relationship actually was. Longitudinal research and keeping track of people is probably very hard. So overall, I think any claims that suggest that a significant majority of people stay together after infidelity warrant a closer look. The strongest clues I think we have are from a 2012 study by Allen and Atkins that suggests that eventually more than 50% of people who have extramarital affairs end up divorced or separated from that person. Final thing, I just want people to have accurate information about this. There are some people who will be happiest if they stay together and rebuild their relationship. And there are other people who will be happiest and find the most amount of healing by feeling justified to walk away and seek out happiness elsewhere in their lives. It's not failure to leave a relationship in which you were betrayed. It's just a decision, and you have to make the right one for you.